Hey guys, I'm just going to show you how to play the numbers round. It's from a TV show called Countdown. Obviously, if you're in my class, you would have done this a fair bit for warm-ups and things already. If you've forgotten, especially been away for a long time, this might give you a hand on remembering the rules. And if you're not, welcome, come and learn some things. Righty, so all that's going to happen here is that I'm going to give you a couple of big numbers. So let's say 100 and I'll give you 25. And I'm going to give you some little numbers. Okay, so let's go 4, 10, 6, and 8. Okay, next thing we do is pull a random target number. I've already done a random target number, which was 864. And now our job, if we're on the real show, we get 30 seconds, which is pretty fun for me, probably not so much fun for you, and we don't want you rushing too much, so I'll give you about 2 minutes. If you're doing this at home, you have an infinite amount of time. Feel free to spend your entire day doing this numbers puzzle. Okay, so my only job is to try and get as close as I can using only these 6 numbers. I can only use them once each. So once I've used the 100, I can't use it again. So first thing I want to do is use what I know about multiplying by tens and hundreds to see how can I get close. Okay, so if I'm trying to get to 864, I know that if I have 8 lots of 100, I'm going to get 800. Okay, 800 is pretty close to 864. Okay, so that's a good start. I'm just going to look at my big numbers and see how can I get pretty close to what I'm looking for. Okay, something else that I know, if I look at multiplying by tens, okay, I know that 10 times 6 is going to be 60. Okay, so I've used my 10 and my 6. Okay, so now altogether I have 800 plus 60, so I've made 860. My target number is 864, and I have wonderful news because we still have a 4 left over. So all I'm going to do is add my 4 on. Okay, my answer is going to be 864, and I've got that spot on. Good for me. A lot of the times, they won't be so easy as that. Okay, the most important thing that we're focusing on is that we can get this bit. Okay, so use what we know about multiplying by hundreds. I'll always give you 100 because it's easier. Look at your hundreds, see what's going to be closest to 864. So I could get 100 times 10 is 1,000. I could get 100 times 6 is 600. But I know 100 times 8 is going to be pretty close to the number I'm looking for. And then all I'm doing is using my little numbers to see how I can get closer. So all we're doing at the end of 2 minutes is we're just seeing how close did we get. Okay, so in this case, I am 0 off the target number. I got the target number perfectly. Most of the time, we're going to be a little bit away, or maybe even a lot away. But the important bit is that we're having a look at our big numbers, see how you can get kind of close, and then just do as much of this stuff as you can. So if you're timing yourself, the more you do it, the better you'll get at your mental strategies. If you want to sit there and work it out, that's great too. So all I'm going to do now is just rub this off. I'm going to put another one up there. I'll just work through this one quickly without talking it out, see how close I can get. I haven't obviously planned this, so I may get really close, I may get it exactly, I may not get very close, and then I'll chuck some up on Classroom and you can see how you go. So I told you I'd give you 100, so I'll leave my 100. Okay, we'll get rid of our old number. Okay, so our big numbers this time are 175, and our little numbers are 7, 2, 2, and 3. Okay, so this time I have 2 2s. Okay, so that means I can use the number 2 twice because I have 2 of them. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to set myself a number. I'll give myself a minute or so to work this out. You can, if you like, just pause me, see how you go. And then once I'm done, I'll go through it, I'll see how close I've got, and then you should be good when I start putting up some pictures I've got. Alrighty. Computer says my target number is 398. Okay, so I can look at this and I can say that 100 times 3 will be 300. The other thing I know is that 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so 4 times 100 is going to be 400. Okay, so I'm already 2 away. What I can't do is now take off this 2. Okay, I don't have this 2 anymore because I've used this one, I've used this one, I've used that one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is see if I can get closer otherwise. So 3 times 100 is 300. Okay, 300 plus 75 is 375. That's going to help me. Okay, 100 plus 7 is 107. Times 3 is 321, then plus the 75 is going to be 396, and then plus the 2 is going to get me 398. So that's going to be perfect. Okay, do you need to be able to know how to multiply by 107? Okay, not really, but all I've done here is I have 100 groups of 3, which is 300, and then I have 7 more groups of 3, which is 21, so altogether I have 107 groups of 3, which is 321, and then it's going really close. Okay, so that's great that I did that. Okay, but when you're working through this, if you're doing that bit, that's the most important bit we're looking at doing mentally, and then just see if you can do anything better. If you do get something in time, see if you got another way. And now's the point where you should not be writing, and I'd be checking them. Obviously, if you're doing those on your own time, feel free to try and get closer. So that is the numbers game, the 7th best game in the world. Hope you enjoy it.